Hey guys, me Sam Stein here with Will Summer, author of False Flag, and we're about to get ourselves arrested by the
No.
FBI. We are.
Open up.
I think we should be honest about what's about to happen. We're going to be talking about Will's piece on Dan Bongino, Deputy FBI Director. And by the end of this, if someone breaks down our doors, this is why. Before we get into it, subscribe to the feed as always. All right. Will, the piece is called Dan Bongino Wants You to Know He's Working Really Hard. Seriously, he is. Exceptional headline. I don't know how that got put in there. We
I
won't
think that
talk
might have
about
been
that.
a Sam Stein joint. Yes.
I wouldn't know. This is something that's been on my radar for a little bit because I'm on Twitter way too much. But Dan Bongino keeps tweeting the same basic thing, which is just because you don't see the actions of the FBI doesn't mean they're not happening. What? And I've been wondering as he keeps issuing a variation of that tweet. How many times? 7 times?
I think our last count as of Wednesday was 8.
Okay.
And so, yeah.
So what the hell is the point? What is he getting at? What is he alluding to? Why is it so mysterious?
So I got interested in this, as you said, because he kept sending these tweets and they weren't really directed at anyone, but just kind of like, in so many words, like, to my doubters, I'm working really
To my
hard.
haters, yeah.
Yes. And he said at one point, if you think I came to DC for like an all expense paid vacation, you don't know me. I'm hard at work. And I thought, this is so strange. And so
wait, just stop there. One of them was like, I didn't give up this sweet life that I built to like not do. It's like, go do your life if it was so sweet. No one asked you to do this. This is an honor.
I mean, he seems really stressed, I guess is how I would put it. And so overall, so then I started looking into, what are people so mad about? And then at the same time, his friends were tweeting like, I, for one, think Dan Bongino is doing a great job, which is always a great sign.
Michael Flynn Jr. said it, I think. Some others, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, there's a couple things. I think one of them is kind of the idea that the right-wing media audience, including Bongino's old audience, has been told that, Democrats had a criminal cabal running the country.
Right.
And yet now that Dan Bongino's in charge, Hillary hasn't been arrested. Oprah hasn't been arrested. No one's been arrested.
Well, he's hard at work. We're just give it a little time. But there were some other things though that you wrote about that seem to be bothering people. It's not just the absence of arrests; it's personnel decisions.
Yeah. So last week, the New York Times reported that Kash Patel, who's Bongino's boss running the FBI, had appointed this FBI agent named Steve Jensen to run the Washington field office, which is a very prestigious appointment. But Steve Jensen is kind of like the arch enemy of January 6th people. And also so he ran a lot of the response to January 6th from the FBI. He handled, sort of relatedly, you may remember like a few years ago, conservative parents getting really rowdy at school board meetings. And so he did the FBI response to like if any crimes happened there. And then there was this FBI quote unquote.
And conservatives hated that. They thought it was big government trying to suppress speech and all that stuff.
Exactly. And so the idea that the FBI was looking into that, they hated that. And then this idea that, he was described on a conference call like 2 days or one day after January 6th saying like, let's get these people. And one FBI agent was like, what if they're innocent? And he said, I don't care. Well, not that I don't get, but basically like these people clearly did something bad. And so I want to pursue them. And, this is treated on the right as like, this guy's in the Gestapo or something. And so the idea that now Kash and Dan Bongino by extension are giving him a promotion has just infuriated people.
And it's funny because, there's two things I want to unpack. The first is there's precedent for these people getting mad and then going after them and then Trump retrenching and firing those people. I mean, Laura Loomer just did it with the National Security Council. So it's not like this is just a sideshow. This is actual. There could be real world consequences to the frustration over the hiring of these people. But the bigger question is and you've been following this way more than I have. At some point, do the people who believe all the conspiracies, like that there's a cabal and that the Jeffrey Epstein client list is going to be turned over at any minute, and that QAnon will be, has exposed. When it continuously doesn't happen, obviously they just spin a new tale. But is there any point at which you've witnessed where people are like, you know what, maybe I've been led astray, or maybe all my prior held beliefs weren't grounded necessarily in reality? Because if Dan Bongino can't uncover this stuff, then Who
No, I
knows?
don't think that'll happen. I think I think what's going to happen more likely is that Dan Bongino is going to be scapegoated here, as we're already seeing, because they're saying, come on, Dan, you gotta find the big secrets, and when he is unable to do that, they're going to say,
Who else could they
Dan,
turn to?
they'll put Laura Loomer in or something. I mean, there's a long list of Republican kind of MAGA podcast personalities that they could have run the FBI.
Is there? I mean, I guess the truth is Bongino wasn't in a Senate confirmed position. So it was like, they could find someone else, I suppose. But boy, it's like hard to find a character more suited to satisfy the conspiratorial mind than Bongino. And if he can't do it, any sense of like whether he really is sweating it? I mean, all we're going on are these tweets, I guess.
Yeah, I would say the tweets are a pretty good sign. I mean, I really recommend people like read the newsletter. If you really get deep, we have all his tweets listed out there. I mean,
I'll pull them up. There was one that was really good, but go ahead. You talking about?
Well, I was just gonna say. I mean, since I was writing this, and then I was just like, all right, let's check old Dan's Twitter before I send this in. And then he had sent a new one that was, similarly.
No, is that 9 or no? That was 8.
This was yesterday. Yeah.
Right. Let me read from one just to give people a sense. As I dive back into work, I want to reassure you that nothing that is happening here is happening by accident. Now, keep in mind, he's already said just because you don't see things happening doesn't mean they're not. So I don't know. You either see it or you don't. Because of the sensitivity of what the FBI deals with, both the director and I have to be circumspect about in what we can make public. Bad guys read this stuff too. Neither one of us came here to play games. Measure by results. You will see them. But just because you don't see something happening right this second doesn't mean it isn't happening. I'll conclude by stating that not every result is going to please everyone. That's just pandering. It's not leadership. Complex problems require diligence and a reform-oriented process to create lasting changes, blah, blah, blah. I can't imagine writing a tweet like this and putting it up. I really just can't.
This is like one of the most powerful law enforcement officials in the country.
I know. That's the thing.
On Wednesday, he sent one that was just like, time stretches out before us. Like, who is to say? Like,
was he that philosophical?
Longer. I mean, yeah, it was like it was very like kind of time as a flat circle type situation.
Again, though, this is the second most powerful person at the FBI. I challenge someone to name any other prior deputy director by name, let alone anyone who ever tweeted anything. It's unbelievable. These people normally operate completely in the dark. I guess I should applaud the transparency. And Dan, if you're watching this, look, I have the utmost respect for you. Please, I want you to recognize that.
Well, Dan, Sam, at this pace, he'll never catch up to you. It'll be 2030.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's talk about the other element in your newsletter, which I also find fascinating, which is libs of TikTok got a ride along with Kristi Noem. People are not happy about that. Again, I guess it's of the same genre, which is like they expect results and not pandering. And Bongino's like, I'm not pandering. I'm just going to be straight with you. But in this case, they're like, why did Kristi Noem put libs of TikTok on an ICE raid? Can't she just go and deport people? And I will note, this was in your newsletter, but it happened last night. Maybe we could find the clip. Megyn Kelly, while complimenting Kristi Noem for the work she's done, was like, stop cosplaying. Like, just stop like brandishing guns and pretending you're a member of ICE. You're not.
Stop trying to glamorize the mission and put yourself in the middle of it as you cosplay ICE agent, which you're not. I can't stand these photo ops, you guys. I think they diminish ICE. They diminish DHS, CPB. She's not an agent. She is an administrative policy person appointed by Trump because she was very loyal to him. Fine. But stop with the glam. I mean, she looks like I look right now, but she's out in the field with her gun being like, we're going to go kick some ass. No one wants you there.
So it does seem like there's a little bit of frustration on that front too.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of the MAGA frustration newsletter. I mean, in this case, I was interested because libs of TikTok, Kaya Raichik, you would think they would like her being along. But I think there's this frustration that, I mean, they were expecting like enormous levels of deportation. Like it was supposed to have this like huge ripple effect on the economy. Every citizen was going to be mega wealthy after all the deportations. And instead, in February, there were fewer deportations than there were under Biden.
I just find it shocking to me that people are unsatisfied with the level of cruelty on the deportation and migration front. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's so crazy about it. I mean, that ultimately they're saying, we want more people in the Salvadoran prison. And so this idea that, this kind of dovetails with the Epstein binder debacle, where Pam Bondi handed out these Epstein files that turned out to not be new. And so one of the people who received that was Libs of TikTok, who is also now on this. And so I guess overall the MAGA audience is getting kind of fed up with like the spectacle.
Well, they're probably like, oh, you're using her just to brandish your credentials and seem and keep a good standing in our community, but we want results.
Yeah, basically, we want more cruelty, we want more terror.
Yeah, you're not cruel enough. And same with Bongino. Like, where are like, why is Oprah still walking about in a free society? Like, come on, Dan, we hired you for a reason. All right, well, I need a drink. Again, I just want to stress today on Bongino, like I totally respect what you're doing, and I just want you to.
We got all the time in the world, Dan. No rush.
No rush, and I'm happy for the transparency, and I'm grateful for it. In fact, so thank you. Okay, Will Sommer, check out his newsletter, False Flag. Also, subscribe to this feed where we talk about stuff like this. It's well worth it. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Hey, YouTube fam. If you want to support the Bulwark, the best way to do it is by becoming a YouTube Bulwark Plus member. The Bulwark is truly independent. We have no corporate overlords. We're not settling any dumb lawsuits with Trump. By joining, you help support our work, and you can get a bunch of perks right here on this platform. Ad-free content, bonus videos, live streams, and some emojis of me, which I guess some people want. So come join, come hang out, become a Bulwark YouTube Plus member, and I'll be seeing you in the comments. So behave.